you doing, Manginas? Tangy Toddler here, bringing you guys Domination on Dome. And this gameplay, I'm going to talk about the future of Infinity Ward. And this is all speculation, as I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think they even know what's going to happen, and I don't think a lot of people know what's going to happen. And we won't know what's going to happen because Black Ops 2 is just about to come out, so there's no chance for them to talk about any of the stuff for the future of Infinity Ward and what game will come next. Or if even Infinity Ward, well, they will have to because Treyarch won't have a game ready in a year. But so Infinity Ward is next and after Black Ops 2, so I'm kind of looking forward to see what they're going to do. And they're going to be like scrutinized because I have to say, like, I don't know if they should make a Modern Warfare 4. And because of this game has a lot of bad karma behind it. Like, a lot of people didn't like it. And to say this game flopped or it sucked is a lie. And I personally didn't like multiplayer. I didn't like the multiplayer aspect. Some people did. Some people love it. But I mean, I play it enough where I can have fun with it at times. Just not for very long. And in the beginning of this game, I had a lot more fun than I do now with it. So, but the game is judged by its sales and its campaign as well. And sales, it had record sales, I believe, for even just a video game. I don't know I know at least for Call of Duty. And so I mean, obviously it wasn't a fail. Obviously they made a shit ton of money off this game, so it was successful. The campaign, I played it. I don't remember it very much, but it was cool, and I had a ton of good reviews for the campaign. So obviously it was fine. And Infinity Ward is kind of known as having good campaigns. So, I mean, they're expected to have a good one. But, what should they do next? Because what else is there to do? They covered a lot of the wars, whether it's Treyarch or Infinity Ward. Like, what other wars can they do? Black Ops has now taken the past, Vietnam War, and now the future, to 2025. And for, Infinity Ward to do even more in the future would just be stupid. Because Black Ops 2, to me, it kind of looks like a modern-day Star Wars. I think that's what it's going to be like. Because everybody likes to make comparisons. Everybody's like, for Black Ops, they're like, oh, this game's going to look like kind of like Halo 4. Oh, this game's going to play like Modern Warfare 3. Oh, this game's probably going to be just like Black Ops. And it's just stupid. How can you compare something like that? So yeah, it probably won't be like anything. Like, I say it's going to be like a modern-day Star Wars as a kind of a joke. But I honestly think that's what it's kind of going to be because of all the futuristic stuff. And by the way, all the futuristic stuff, if you didn't know, it's stuff that is already developed or is in process of developing, or like an idea. Like, they're like, oh, we should try to make this. Let's get on it. So all this shit that they're going to put in this new game is real stuff, or is possibly going to be real stuff in the future. So I think that's going to be kind of cool to see all this stuff that really futuristic warfare. And I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to see what they have. Also, Infinity Ward needs to figure out something that can entice people. And I mean that because just like Treyarch has zombies. Everybody's looking forward to zombies. Everybody's looking forward to multiplayer. Everybody's looking forward to the campaign. Modern Warfare Infinity Ward doesn't have a thing like zombies. They tried with survival, and some people liked survival, but it's just not even close to as good or as fun as zombies. So they need to figure out something to get something going. And then, like, Treyarch had High Roller, and they had these stupid like custom games, and they only put 5 in. And one of them was Modern Warfare Threesome, is what they called it, where they like voted the top 3 maps, top 3 game modes. It's like, where was that? Like, that came out like this week. It's like, where the fuck was that like months ago? Like, are you kidding me? Now you guys are doing shit like this? Like, come on, like, do other games. There's only 5, and for a while there's only like 1. It was Drop Zone, then there was Infected, and Infected was quite popular, so kudos for that. But this shit would have been a lot better if they came out with different stuff, like time after time after time. So I think they failed in that opinion. I think they could have done a lot better when it comes to that. But are they going to go back in time? Because we've never seen a Infinity Ward game that goes back to the past, and I think that'd be cool. The problem is it just doesn't quite have the pizzazz. That sounds like, I don't know, that makes me sound weird, but it doesn't, because modern guns, modern warfare sounds better and sounds more fun and more cool. It sounds cooler than something going back in past. And I honestly don't think that's true, but I think a lot of people that are younger than me might think that's true. I think people like to see futuristic stuff than rather relive history. And I don't care either way. Both are quite cool. But they really don't have an option, in my opinion. I just don't see how they're going to do Modern Warfare 4. And even if they do, making a modern game, like making modern guns and all that shit like that, no way can they call it Modern Warfare 4. I would be very surprised if they do, because it's just, how many times can they remake the same game? And I don't mean that the same way. Like, these games are different enough, but I'm just saying they're the same premise. It just kind of gets old after 3 years. And a lot of people, I always hear, like, why can't they go back to COD 4? Why can't they make a game like that? That's impossible. And everybody said that's the best game ever, and I think that's kind of a myth. Because the reason people think it is the best game ever, and I'm not saying it's a bad game, it's an awesome game, and it might be. It might be the best Call of Duty ever, or most played, or most fun, the most less bullshit. And the reason it was is because it was so simple. The game was so simple. You didn't have custom kill streaks. Their classes, there weren't a ton of new perks, like, because one of the perks was just grenade shit, or extra ammo, and there wasn't a shit ton of guns, there wasn't a shit ton of attachments, so it's just really simple, and it's something that you cannot charge $60 to play anymore. Also, it was so good and so popular because it was such a big jump from Call of Duty 3. Because you can actually do custom classes. Like, when that game came out, it's like, mind fuck. That's kind of what it was. Mine was just blown because it was just so different than the past 3 Call of Duties. And it was also more modern than the past 3, if I remember right. And I really didn't play COD 1, 2, or 3 that much. But from what I remember when I played at a friend's house for a little bit, it was kind of like old school. It was kind of like back in World War II, World War I, and shit like that. So it was like old weapons. And so that's why it was just so different. And it was a good feel. It looked cool. It was awesome. And the only difference was they can't go back to there either is because of the maps. The maps are really simple. The maps weren't anything special, like they weren't landmarks or anything like that. And that's one thing I'm really looking forward to Black Ops. And that's another thing that actually Infinity Ward needs to step up. Infinity Ward likes to make the game, like, makes the same map. So, for instance, they like to basically copy and paste the map. Terminal's a good one. Treyarch, on the other hand, I don't know if you guys seen the new 2025 Nuketown trailer, but they make Nuketown futuristic. They change shit in it. Do you know what Modern Warfare 3 did? When you know what Infinity Ward did to Terminal? Oh, they changed the bookstore to an electronics store. Yay. Game changer. That is a game changer. I mean, like, there's electronics in there. It ain't fucking books. Sweet, dude. I mean, honestly, and then, like, Black Ops made that one map from World at War a fucking golf course. Like, how awesome is that? And Treyarch tries so much harder. The difference between Treyarch and Infinity Ward, Treyarch, when they do something right, they get something right, they're like, okay, how can I make this better? And Infinity Ward, they're like, okay, how can I reproduce this? Like, honestly, like, Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty 4 were wins. And they're like, okay, people love this. Let's make the same thing, but worse. And they try to make it better, I'll give them that. It just didn't win the people over. And the major problems were just simple problems. Spawns were really shit. No recoil on the guns got kind of old. It just didn't take a lot of skill. So, I mean, it's fixable stuff. It's not like this game is just... It's not like Infinity Ward's doomed, because they have made good games in the past, and I just hope they go back to that. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I think the future for them, they shouldn't do a modern game. I'd love to see them go back in past. They can't do a futuristic, since that's what Black Ops is doing now. So, they're going to have to figure out their shit. I'd like to see him do a Vietnam one. And I know Black Ops was a Vietnam one, but Vietnam War was a pretty cool war. They had a lot of cool guns, and they can do a lot more stuff than just Black Ops did, since it was such a big war. Or if they don't do that, maybe they can do something like if Cold War was actually a war. Like, if it turned out to be something. And I think they've touched on that in the past in games, because I feel like Russia is always the bad guy, or Japan, or even China. But, I don't know. The sky's the limit. They're probably going to make up a war because they covered everything else. I even think a cool modern, like, I want to say modern, but like World War II with a game like now, with a sweet graphics, they can change the guns a lot cooler, because World at War covered it, but the World at War just lacked graphics and lacked gameplay, in my opinion, just because it wasn't developed. And actually, Infinity Ward probably is making the first Call of Duty for the next gen console. So, I mean, they're going to have a huge step up, so that's going to be pretty cool about it. So let me know what you guys think. What do you think they should do? Do you think overall, sales-wise, campaign-wise, do you think Modern Warfare 3 was a fail? I know I'm personally really looking forward to Black Ops 2. I'm not trying to get my hopes up, but it's too late. If this game's a flop, I probably am going to cry every fucking night, because I just need a new shooter. I think Zombies going to be amazing. So, I'm really looking forward to this game. Let me know what you guys think about either Black Ops 2 or what you think Infinity Ward's next step should be. Stay hairy, Manginas.